Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The TODD-CAST is filmed before a live feline audience. All right, once again, everybody, we're back.
Hi. Yay. And Tiana.
We're back kind of live. Well, not really live. It's a recording, of course. But yeah, Tiana is helping tonight. She's doing the best helping ever of the help. I'm certain that you heard her there in the lead-in somewhere, and now you're going to hear her thumping on the microphone, and because that's what kitties do.
To prove that we're in front of a live cat
feline audience. Yes.
Right.
Every day or every 2 weeks.
Every
Here
time
we
we have one.
Yes, we do. And I should actually transition over to us.
Hey.
Yay.
So it doesn't look like we're just doing a podcast, just audio.
I don't know. Sometimes.
No. Anyway, tonight, we're going to continue on with Colorado. We're going to continue on with more parts of Colorado than just the northern quadrants. We're actually going to be moving into the central portion of Colorado, and we're going to be going from Colorado Springs, using that as our base of operations, and moving out from there.
Okay.
Now, naturally, there's not much moving out that we're going to be doing eastbound, because we'll be hitting the Kansas-Oklahoma border, and there's not much there.
A lot of flat grass.
Well,
Ranch country.
Bent's Fort's out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah, I mean, that's a long drive.
It's a long drive. It is a long drive to it.
Yeah,
from where we're at.
The reason I'm whining about it is because it's a long drive of nothing.
Yeah.
There we go.
See,
First one.
Woo-hoo!
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, it's a long drive of
It's
nothing.
flat. It's very flat. So we do have some flat part of our state as well.
Yeah, a lot of watermelon farms
Ooh,
too.
that is true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Down
Canada.
Yeah.
down that way. But yay.
I like watermelon.
I thought it was cantaloupe.
Both.
Is it both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of the melons.
All of the melons.
So good stuff.
But
well,
yeah,
anyway.
you remember my friend Felix, right?
Yes.
Who was on the police force of that particular small town. Their mascot was an angry watermelon.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Watermelons can be pretty aggressive.
sure.
Just
Okay.
saying.
Anyway, so tonight we're going to be starting out in Colorado Springs, and from Colorado Springs we're going to be heading out. But we got a lot of things to talk about with Colorado Springs.
We do.
Just briefly, I'm going to reiterate that our mountain range, the Rocky Mountain Range that runs through Colorado, runs from the north border to the southern border, all the way through the center portion of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And the Continental Divide bisects Colorado almost equally.
Almost.
Almost equally. It's big. It's very big. Everything's big. Well, anyway, Colorado Springs. We got a lot of things to talk about with Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is the home of the United States Air Force Academy.
Indeed.
That is one of our big claims to fame as far
It
as
is.
military goes.
Yeah.
We've have several places here around Colorado. Up here north, near Denver is Buckley. Lowry was.
Yeah, I would say at one time.
Yeah, Lowry Air Force Base was there. My dad was stationed
I would say,
at Lowry.
thanks to Lowry Air Force Base, you and I exist.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if it wasn't there, we wouldn't be here. So yay.
And now it is a shopping and housing district with a really cool museum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wings over the Rockies.
Wings over the Rockies.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awfully fun.
I would say if you're an airline or flight person at all, it's pretty cool to go in there.
If you're into aviation,
yeah.
definitely. Also,
planes.
if you're into Star Wars too, they have a full-sized full scale X-wing.
Yes, I've seen it
Yes.
in person.
So have I. Let's see. What else have we got? Excuse me. Oh, the Olympic Training
Yes,
Center
Olympic Training Center.
is in Colorado Springs. Garden of the Gods, Pikes Peak, Manitou Springs.
Cave of the Winds.
Yeah, Manitou Springs is the town outside
Yeah.
Yeah.
to the west of Colorado Springs. Is Manitou Springs that has Cave of the Winds that have cliff dwellings.
Cool.
The Miramont Castle and Museum is just a big fancy house. The Incline, which is it's a walking trail. It is not the train, and is a series of over 2,000 steps.
No, thank you.
Up.
It's very popular for the crew of people who like to run it and or do it as a rite of passage on your fitness journey.
Yeah.
Yep.
I personally am not on that fitness journey.
No.
So I will not be partaking.
If I'm going to do something like that, it's going to be up at Hanging Lake where there's something
I won't do that Death March again.
that there's a payoff at the end.
I won't do that Death March again. I've seen it, and no, I'm done.
Needless to
done.
say,
Either that or we actually park in the parking lot
Well,
for it.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, needless to say, the three of us will not be doing the Manitou Incline.
Well, I don't know about that now.
Well, go ahead. You
Because
do
rite of passage and being an amputee, I think that would be one heck of a
fantastic.
sticker to put in my book. You
Yeah.
know?
Fantastical for you.
Yep, and that's what I think would be fun.
Okay. Not
Let's see. But the thing about the incline for this trail, reservations are required.
Yes.
They're free to make reservations, but you must make reservations.
And do so. You
Yeah.
can't do it as a walk up. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Rainbow Falls is also up that way. And for me, since I'm also an amusement park and theme park junkie,
Yeah.
the North Pole Santa's Workshop
Yes.
is at the foot of Cheyenne Mountain.
Yes. That's a very Colorado kid thing to do, is go to the North Pole in the southern part of the state.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a kid
It's
rite of
so
passage.
good.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
that's something else to mention. Cheyenne Mountain,
Yeah.
Well, yes.
NORAD.
home of NORAD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Santa, that's where they track
Yeah,
him.
they
every
track him.
year.
That's
It
right.
doesn't look like what the movie made it look like. Was it what movie?
What movie are you
I
talking
don't
about?
remember. We're in NORAD. It was an 80s movie. Matthew Broderick.
War Games?
Yes. Doesn't look like that at all.
Actually, the outside looks exactly like that because that was
does, but the inside does not.
Very few people know what the inside of NORAD looked
My
like.
friend
I
Colleen,
can't discuss it.
I have a friend and colleague at work who grew up down there, and she did a field trip down there in that when she was in elementary school, and she says it doesn't look like that.
I can't discuss it.
I'm sure. We'll have to kill you.
That's right.
That's right.
So anyway,
Black
yeah,
vans will show up.
yeah. They're here. Anyway, okay. Enough of my tinfoil hat. Let's see. We got what do we do? Who's gonna start? What do we got?
Well,
What do we got?
I mean, we kind of hit the highlights, and honestly, if you're going to do that section of the world, you do have to hit the highlights because it's really what it's known for down there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but there are some off the beaten path kind of things.
Oh, we didn't even talk about once we got over the mountains yet.
No.
No, let's finish up Colorado Springs.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, do you want me to start?
Sure.
Might
Okay,
as well.
so my favorite thing to do down there, and it's actually right off the highway as you're entering into Colorado Springs, is the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. I love it. I think it's great. And it comes from our tradition as a family, but I think it's really neat to see rodeo and the history of rodeo and how it came about. And again, make big nod to Colorado and us being an agrarian state and how all that's important to us. But rodeo is really those skills that you have on the farm and ranch being put to a sport and put into competition. And that's what the cowboys would do during their downtime, is to compete against each other to see who's the best roper and who's the best capper and who could ride their horse the best and who could cut the animals out the best, and really the skills of their training of their animals as well. So anyway, I loved it. I love that museum and that Hall of Fame and learning about the history of that. It's, like I said, right off the highway. They have a bull in the back all the time.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
I love me a good bull. So he's just great. I love it. I think and I don't think people stop a lot of times to go see it because they're off to Garden of the Gods, or they're off to the Olympic Training Center, or they're off to like kind of the other bigs. And me to the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame is a not miss. I would do it. To me, it's a have to. So
Okay.
I recommend that one. That would be my thing down there.
I'm gonna say Garden of the Gods is my thing. I really enjoy it. Yes, it is the garden, as it were, are rock formations, red rocks specifically. And, you know, they have the balancing rock, which terrified me as a child because my parents were like,
on your face.
sit under the rock and we're going to take a picture of you under the balancing. I'm like, yeah, and that's the 1 minute it's going to fall down, right? No, you know, it's been there for a long time. It hasn't fallen down yet, but it's in addition to the garden, as it were, which is beautiful. Just the surrounding landscape is beautiful as well. It is definitely worth a trip to go see.
It is very quintessential Colorado.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has a flavor of Moab. It has a flavor of that southern Utah border area, but it definitely is a Colorado.
Very yes. And scenic in that, like, some friends of ours got married down there. I mean, it's just one of those lovely backdrops for all kinds of fun events.
Picturesque.
It is indeed. So that's where I would go. And then now I'm also drawing a blank. There's a very lovely hotel in Colorado Springs that's worth a visit as well.
The Broadmoor.
Thank you. Yeah.
Fancy.
It's pricey, of course, but there's the grounds themselves, and to go there maybe for a meal or whatever. It's another thing that's worth a visit.
Yeah.
Quintessential Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where would you go, Chuck?
Okay, if I was going to take them outside of Colorado Springs, I would straight up head to Manitou. I'd head to Manitou Springs.
Yeah.
There is so much to do just in the old town of Manitou.
It's so cute. I agree.
It's really cute.
Good one.
The Manitou Spring is in the downtown section or the old town section of Manitou Springs.
Yeah.
It's worth going by and looking. A little bit of history on Manitou. It was a resort town, essentially. Originally, all Colorado towns were mining towns, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much before,
that's
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Except for Manitou Springs became more of a resort town earlier than a lot of other places. The reason is because they thought of the health aspects from the spring water.
Yeah.
So they went after that. The other thing too is that we are at altitude. So a lot of folks came to Colorado because of the dry air and the altitude. The cool, dry air. You had a lot of pneumonia patients, a lot of
tuberculosis
patients.
Yep.
Doc Holliday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You had a lot of, well, they didn't diagnose it as asthma
no,
at that time.
No, but that's
yeah, and also going back to Denver, you have experience with the Jewish
National Jewish Hospital,
which is a leader in respiratory research.
And it's all child through adult. It's one of the leading hospitals in the country, mainly because of where we sit with that cool, dry air.
Right.
It makes it does make it a lot easier to breathe up here. So
I can't deny that.
No,
I can't deny that. I mean,
you know,
there were times when I was out doing my historical reenactment thing in Pennsylvania.
Humidity ain't no joke.
I don't like to chew my air before I swallow.
Yeah.
I really don't. You know. Anyway, we're getting off task there.
But you're right. Manitou is cute.
I would love to do I like to do Manitou. Garden of the Gods always is a go-to, and the reason is because it's mini Monument Valley.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's mini Monument Valley. That's what I like about it. Maybe if I'm with a bunch of folks who want to do the ultra patriot thing, we would go visit the Air Force Academy.
So I would say this: if you've never been there, go.
Yeah, it's worth the walk around the campus.
It is, and the cathedral is really pretty and architecturally interesting.
And it sits really lovely in the mountains. So
yeah, it's nice. It's nice, and being able to go out to Cathedral Rock, which they make the cadets run from the campus out to Cathedral Rock and then back. So that's.
I do have to say, so as a Colorado State University Ram, I love my school, but some of the best football games that I would go to and march at the Air Force Academy were phenomenally cool because they do flyovers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning of all the game, it's so good.
But that stadium,
it's like
the sound.
It's amazing.
It's just,
yeah.
I got goosebumps. I mean, it's so cool. It's like carved into the side of the hill.
Well, kind of. Not
and
real. No.
And they just did flyovers, and the Corps cadets, every time they score, they run down to the field and do their push-ups, and then they run back up. So every game is
and
like
all the
700
signage
hours.
about how altitude is to intimidate the opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You are at.
Yeah.
Above a mile. You're above a mile high.
Yeah. Colorado Springs is higher than Denver.
When Kat was doing for her high school, for Horizon High School, when they were doing the marching band competitions, I loved going to the Air Force Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the acoustics there are...
So it's such a good football stadium. So if you're into like college football, and if you watch that on TV, they're a good football team now too, so you get to see it a lot. I don't think the TV does it justice.
No,
that stadium is awesome.
Well, and I'm hoping this year that the Falcons actually start beating Army and Navy.
Well, they have in the past. I mean, they've won.
They have in the past.
They have won the President's Trophy, but they just gotta. It's cycles.
I know it's a rough road.
Yeah.
But everybody worries about Army going to beat Navy going to beat Army. No.
Air Force is a sneaker.
Yeah, Air Force comes in there and they're a surprise. They're a surprise. So, anyway, enough about Air Force.
Anyway, it's a cool campus. I mean, oops, sorry.
It's okay.
But so if you want to go. I would say do it if you've never been.
Yeah.
I have been to another academy that I love better.
Military Academy?
Yes.
Which one?
Annapolis.
See, okay, now I want to go to Annapolis so bad it hurts.
Stunning.
I bet.
And
Speaking of history.
And their chapel's better.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm just, it hurt me as a Coloradoan to stand there in the middle of that chapel and be like, this one's cooler.
I know.
But it was cooler. It's beautiful.
Don't they have more of an old world feel?
It's more of but it's very it feels like it's 1700.
Very colonial.
Very colonial. Thank you.
Okay.
But they have each graduating class donates a stained glass to the chapel that has something to do with a water verse in the Bible. So they find out
being Navy.
Yeah. So they and these first of all, the stained glass are beautiful works of art, and then you get to see all of this, Bible coming to a picture and life. And it's amazing. It's so cool in there. It is really, really cool. So anyway, Battle of the Military Academy.
Well, okay. You're also talking about, at the beginning of our nation's history. Army and Navy, they were going to be that, there they are.
That's it.
Air Force Academy is the youngest of all the academies.
Well, except for, Space Force doesn't have an academy yet.
It's the Air Force.
Is it the Air Force?
Yes, they use the Air Force Academy.
Yeah, because you got to get through the air before you hit space.
Yeah.
So, and you need to be a pilot. So,
So, Air Force Academy would be a good stop. And it's right off the highway.
Air Force Academy, I would definitely go try. I would definitely probably run them over to the Olympic Training Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Actually,
that's on my to-do list. I haven't been there, so I would love to go see it.
Yeah, I'm just going to touch on it. I'm not going to say any more about it. But I think we would go up to Manitou, and then we'd head up from Manitou up into Woodland Park.
Mm-hmm.
Go see
into the hills.
Yeah, and go to the forests.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some good forests up there.
And Woodland Park is a cute little mountain town.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. They do roll up their sidewalks very, very early.
Yes, they do.
Very early. Think about maybe 8:00 is when everything's going to start shutting down in that town.
Yeah.
So think about that. Plan your day.
Mm-hmm.
Plan your day as best you can.
Don't expect to go out to dinner late.
Yeah, I was going to say, there will be none of this 9 or 9:30 dinner times unless you're going to have somebody bring something to the room.
Or cook it at your own cabin.
Yeah, exactly. Or you order a pizza to your hotel room.
Maybe.
But there's none of this. There's no such thing as late dinner. No late dinner. Where else would I go? We go to North Pole.
you got to go to North Pole. That's on your bucket. That's always on your list.
Yeah, it's not my bucket list, but
no,
yeah, I mean that's
because we've been. But
yeah.
I mean that's just the
because
nostalgia
it's silly.
of it, and it's silly, and
it's silly
cute.
fun. Okay?
And you can feed the reindeer.
Yeah,
that's right.
They have this really terrible slide.
They have a really terrible slide. All of
It's
the
metal and it's awful, but it's great all at the same time.
I mean, it's all like circa 1960s, 70s
It's
rides.
so cute. It's so good.
I mean, they may have refurbed it. I haven't been there in a while, but
It's that kitschy good.
yes,
like, it
it's
is.
kitschy good.
And sometimes it gets scary up there. It can get very scary. Yeah.
Like you're not safe scary.
Yeah.
Not like, ooh, scary. It's like,
no,
am
it's,
I going to die today?
Yeah, it's, yeah. Yeah, the animatronics are not going to come to life and come chase you. No, things will maybe fall off.
With
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but with all of that said, you can see Santa.
Yeah, you get to see Santa year round.
Year
Okay.
round.
A qualifier, they do not have regular business hours.
No.
Okay, they are a small enough operation that they open essentially when they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So call ahead.
Anyway, but that's what I would do.
That's good. Those are good ones.
And now I want to talk about going over the mountains because I mentioned Woodland Park.
Yep.
Okay, there are many places beyond Woodland Park.
There are
Deckers, small little
forest shop.
bump in the road.
Literally a crossroad.
Well, yeah, kind of a crossroad.
Yeah.
It's a pull out.
Pretty much.
essentially.
Yeah, with a bait and tackle shop and a little restaurant that has pretty good ice cream and
really
nachos.
good ice cream. Yeah.
And hot dogs.
And hot. Yes.
We've stopped there a lot because it's also the stopping point before going up to the YMCA camp that's based down there, where Kat spent many years as a camper and then quite a few years as a camp counselor.
Right.
So Deckers is familiar to all of us
Great
at this point.
fishing in Deckers.
There is.
I wouldn't know.
Dad
Yeah.
does that. That's one of
Yeah.
Dad's favorite places is, and they have a really beautiful, I don't even know what river or creek that is that goes down through there.
I want to say it's Cripple Creek.
It very well could be. I'll have to.
I want to say it is. I don't
Let's
know.
We'll look it up and put it in
We
the
will
thing.
Google that and put it here.
There. But it's a great place to just sit by the water and put your feet in and hang out. It's so good.
And so many different places, because if you go up like the road toward YMCA camp, there's a lot of fly fishermen.
fishing, yeah.
There's even some folks doing some inner tubing down that because it's wide enough. And then if you go up the other way from Deckers,
We did that too.
yeah, there's
Up to
smaller
Sedalia.
creeks, but there's smaller creeks. They're still doing fly fishing, but it's really gorgeous
really
up
good.
in there.
Towards Sedalia.
And even on the road back down toward Woodland Parks, or if we're coming up from Woodland Park, there's a lake over there that you and I spent the day at, and I spent the day at by myself
It's Woodland
one time.
Park Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and you can fish, can you boat? I can't remember if there were boats
There was
out there.
stand-up paddleboarding. I have
yeah.
pictures that we can pop in here.
Yeah. And then you're in kind of a valley, so the mountains are in the background, and it was a lovely place to spend the day while I was waiting for Kat to be done with what she was doing up at the camp and taking her back down.
That was a good lake.
Yeah.
That was a good lake.
And then you and I found a place for lunch, just pulling off on a random road.
I have pictures of that too.
Yeah.
Put 'em in.
And we found this outcropping of
Red rocks.
red rocks, and we just hung out there for a bit, and it was open space and
Very
lovely. Just, random, not a destination, not a sign on it at all. So it was just some random space on the road that was beautiful and worth hanging out at for a little while. So there's all kinds of these little niches if you're willing to kind of be adventurous and find them.
So, and also farther south now, as opposed to going to Deckers, we're going to now go south on that same road, and we're going to end up in Florissant.
Yeah.
Florissant, Colorado is actually home to the petrified forest and the Florissant fossil beds. And I thought when I was younger that Florissant, Colorado was where all of those rocks that would fluoresce under blacklight came from. Because fluorescent, not the same word.
No.
Not the same word. But anyway, regardless, Florissant, Colorado is a very fun place. Also, a little bit of Disney trivia. The petrified stump that is in Disneyland came from Florissant, Colorado.
Right. Snaps to that.
So there, Colorado's got some Disney history. Anyway, yeah, and it was Walt giving the stump to Lily for her birthday.
Okay.
Because
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right.
Here's some petrified wood.
Nothing says your love language like a petrified wood.
Here's a 2 million year old tree, honey.
May our love be as old as this
long
tree.
lasting as this tree.
That's a stump.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still worth going.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the little walk path around
the
petrified forest. And we spent a nice kind of long day up there, excursion up there.
Well, and I like it because, again, geology thing. You will see how much of a geology geek I am, or relative geology geek I am, when I finish the Idaho Springs video.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. There's a little tiny section in there of the part of the Visitor Center Museum that has some minerals in there that I go all geeky for.
Yeah.
But it's the fact for me, it's the ancient history there. I am a big geek about the fossil record and all of those things that we have found now that are millions of years old. And I love that. Absolutely love it. So anyway, yeah. And it's also the fact that that wood came from, that long ago. Anyway, also keeping on that road, keep going through Florissant down to Cripple Creek.
Cripple Creek.
The town of Cripple Creek.
Yeah. Talk about mining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big silver hub. Big silver hub. Originally, yes, it was gold. Okay. Everybody was looking for gold. We get it. But this is where, Cripple Creek, the amount of silver that came out of that area was unreal.
Songs were written about Cripple Creek.
That's right. And Cripple Creek was actually a pretty rough and tumble town.
Oh, I can imagine.
It got a reputation, yeah.
Yeah, it was, everybody talks about Central City, and it's like, all those crazy miners up in Central City. Nah. Oh, no. Cripple Creek. You could actually lose your life in Cripple Creek. But that was back in the day.
Yeah, in the day.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
Now it's casinos.
Yeah, just like Central City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is cool. It is really unique how it's set in the mountains and how I think it's beautiful in winter. It's hard to get to in the winter, but it's really, really pretty in the wintertime. So.
Yep. All right. So that sort of wraps up that portion of it. Alyce.
Yes.
Where are you going to take people?
So, Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Trying to think, like, I've, not necessarily going, I know, the Black Forest. So, it's east of Colorado Springs, and it has some really cool camping grounds and some really neat cabins you can rent. But the Black Forest, I think, is unique. In that you always think you have to go up into the mountains to have a really neat forest experience, with the Black Forest down there, I think I would recommend going into that space.
That's up near Monument, right?
No, it's east of Colorado Springs.
Okay,
so yeah, it's on your way to Pueblo. So it's kind of like smack in the middle between Colorado Springs and Pueblo. You take this kind of left off the highway to go to the Black Forest.
Interesting, because the place that we used to camp for our SCA or our historical reenactment was in the Black Forest outside of Monument.
Might have been just the northern end of it.
It's a space,
yeah.
But the space that I would take you would be that east side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's probably
that's it. That's what that would be the
and
end
I
of it.
think I said this before in other episodes that I don't go that direction very much to play. I'm a North kid, so if I'm going to do, because I mean, I'll tell you all sorts of things about Fort Collins.
Okay.
You know, that's where my second home was, that direction. So, not to say that it's not cool down there, but it's not instinctually, I don't go south for a lot of things. I did talk to a friend who grew up down there, and I think it's the Painted Canyon. That's another really it's kind of a hidden gem for all of the locals down there, and now everybody's finding it. And it's got some really neat geology and some really cool hiking trails and everything in there. She's like, we used to do that in high school, and now everybody's found it. So I think it's Painted Trail. We'll get a accurate name, but so, you know, there's some neat things to do down there. It's just, again, like I said, it's not my instinct to go that direction.
Okay.
So.
All right then, Kris, where are you gonna take them? Where are you gonna take everybody?
Oh, all over the place. So in addition to Garden of the Gods, I actually really do like the caves up in Manitou. It's a little bit cheesy. It's a dead cave, and that it's been opened up to be a tourist place for too long, and so it's dried up. So it's no longer actively making stalactites and stalagmites, but it's a safe place to go explore.
You're talking about Cave of the Winds, right?
Cave of the Winds, yeah.
Okay. The portion that they have the regular tours through is dead.
Right.
The cave is not dead.
That's true. Further back, the
mud tour.
Yeah, the mud tour
is
still living part of the cave.
Oh yeah.
So there's that. I don't want to rule out downtown Colorado Springs. The little kind of city center has some fun little restaurants, and it's a nice park area. It's nice to walk around. But then I'm gonna go to the Royal Gorge, and I think I mentioned this in the last one of going through Canyon City on your way. And yes, while it's famous for its prison, it's also just a beautiful town, beautiful river running through it, and the monastery there. And then, you know, take some samples of their wine that they make there. But then going on into Royal Gorge, it's a beautiful, you know, it's no Grand Canyon, but it's a different kind of canyon. It's narrow and deep.
It's very Rocky Mountain Canyon.
Very much. Yeah. Whereas the Grand Canyon is, you know, the other side of the canyon is miles away. Yeah. This one, you can walk across, you can drive across if you're brave, walking across if you're brave.
No.
They have a train or
cogwheel.
Yeah. That can take you down to the bottom. If you do some whitewater rafting, you can start and actually make Royal Gorge one of your rafting and see it from the bottom looking up. They used to have donkey trail rides going down.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore. But taking they have a gondola that you can take from one side to the other, and that's gorgeous. The last time that Charles and I did that, we saw a bighorn sheep hanging out down there. And, you know, it's just, I love that sort of thing, even though as I'm getting older, heights is becoming more of an issue for me of being afraid of heights. But for that, it's worth it. I like it a lot. Okay. So those are my places.
Okay. And that would be it.
Those are pretty extensive. I mean, that's
a lot.
Distance between them. So
that's a lot.
It's a lot of things. And that's one of the things I think about going south that's a little bit different than our area is like you have to drive a pretty significant amount of time to get to things.
Exactly.
Whereas up in the north area, it's relatively closer. So
true.
That's probably another reason that I default to up here is that I'm not a very good car passenger.
You did fine.
I did fine, but I can get real. I am half my mom, so I can get pretty car sick if I'm just a passenger for a hot minute.
I'm much better as a driver because of that. Too. Yeah,
but I also hate driving the mountains. So
right,
there's all of those things. So, where would you go?
Where would I go? Well, I've already taken them to Manitou.
Mm-hmm.
From Manitou, though, Pikes Peak.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, duh.
Do the Cog Railway.
Yeah.
You know, and this way you don't have to drive it.
No, that's true. That's great.
You know, you don't have to go driving up the hill. That crazy road that they race on.
No, thank you.
And
it's not paved either.
No, it's not. It's a dirt road.
Highest
and
dirt road,
not
right?
only do no, it's not the highest dirt road.
Trail road is.
Okay.
No, that's the highest paved road.
Yeah.
Go for it.
The two highest highways in the nation reside in Colorado, and one is Trail Ridge Road, and the other one is Blue Sky Mountain Trail.
Got
Okay.
it.
Okay. Both are paved now. Okay. The Pikes Peak Road, or the Pikes Peak Trailway, or whatever you want to call it, Switchback Hell,
Scary.
is the longest road up a mountain.
Okay.
Yes. But it's not the highest.
Okay.
Okay.
I just know they do races on it every year with the
Well, that don't make it the highest.
dirt flying and switchbacks and oof.
So it's it's a dirt road. It's switchbacks all over the place. And not only do they race cars on this road, they race bikes on this road. They race bicycles. You guys remember the movie American Zephyr?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. That was a movie about that.
Yeah.
About mountain bike racing. And not the mountain bikes with the big chunky wheels and everything. No, this was 10 speeds cruising through mountain roads.
Oh, yeah. The speed terrifies me sitting here. I'm just like,
yeah,
65 to 70 miles per hour on a 10-speed bike.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I dreamed that I was going to be one of those, and that's why I got a 10-speed, and I was all about that. And yeah, realizing the amount of work that I'd have to put in, I'm not doing it.
Plus, there's a whole lot of up before you get to do that down.
Exactly. Exactly.
The neat thing about Pikes Peak, and I'm glad you brought that up, they have just redone their visitor center at the top that has really turned in some really cool views and really neat things. It is open. Well, when you can get up there, it is open year round, but you just have to worry about snow and stuff. But
one of the little videos that I have at the bumper of the beginning of this video is from the visitor center,
Nice.
and you're looking at the railway that goes to the top, and you're at the summit of Pikes Peak looking at the railway, looking down the valley.
So one of my other cool Colorado history facts is that America the Beautiful, the song/poem, was penned by Catherine Lee Bates at the top of Pikes Peak. And she pinned that when she got up there and she saw all of that. I'm probably going to get all emotional because I always do. And whenever you hear that poem or sing that song, you're singing about Colorado. So it is my favorite. Like, I love that because she got up there and she was a school teacher and she just got so inspired. She wrote that poem and then it turned into a song about the country.
Yep. So Pikes Peak was discovered by one of the first American explorers, and I call them American explorers because they were actually sent out after the United States became a nation.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say one of the first United States explorers.
Yes.
There you go.
Zebulon Pike. And yeah, he came in here to Colorado, saw this big mountain, and
must conquer.
Yeah, I gotta go up that thing. And as a rite of passage, you're coming to Colorado. Is the easiest 14er I can get you up.
Because you can ride up it.
That's right. Other than Mount Blue Sky, we can do that one, which is honestly closer and it's a lot easier to get to.
See?
They're wearing your shirt.
I am wearing the shirt.
There.
Yeah, I am wearing the shirt. But Pikes Peak, honestly, is a little cooler because it's really, really close to an urban area.
Well, and other things too. It is world famous.
It is.
People, and we can see it from Denver.
On a clear day.
On a clear day, there are places where you can stand on tops of hills and look south, and there's Pikes Peak. So it's part of our visual, even here in Denver.
I can see it from my office window on a clear day.
Yeah.
Exactly. So after Pikes Peak, we'd come back down. The reason that we're probably going to just end it right there is because that Cog Railway.
A lot of altitude.
That's a slow ride.
Slow ride, but it's a lot of altitude.
It's a slow ride. Yeah, and going up to 14,000 and coming back down will take a toll on you.
Tiring.
The reason I got lightheaded last time we were up there, and I'm already starting at a mile high. So yeah.
Well, you're gaining a lot of altitude. The air is very thin.
Mm-hmm.
it's also the fact that your body is actually trying to acclimate to reduced air pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand that. This is why you feel lightheaded. Because your body is trying to adjust. Boyle's law comes into effect. And Boyle's law is a gas is inversely, its volume, it's inversely proportional to pressure. The more pressure, the less volume. The less pressure, the more volume for a gas. The only reason I know that is because I was a diver. Anyway,
well, that and there's just not enough oxygen. We don't.
Right.
So you don't have enough red cells to process the oxygen efficiently at that altitude until you've been there for about 2 weeks.
Right.
So that you grow enough red cells.
Well, and at altitude for 2 weeks.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so even starting at a mile high, we have more red cell. I used to work at a company that made products for blood processing and blood therapies, and everything we tested here, we had very different results than testing it at sea level. So adjustments had to be made. And similarly, then when, for example, our folks in Peru would purchase it, and they're at 11,000 feet in their hospital, things behave differently. People behave differently. There's we have more red cells than those who live at sea level. So so if you're from sea level and you're up at the top of Pikes Peak, your poor blood just can't keep up and can't deliver oxygen fast enough.
Yep.
You just take it slow. You drink your water.
Yep.
Please drink your water.
Don't worry about going fast. You just take your time.
And really cut back on alcohol, because that just makes everything worse.
Yeah.
Although you're a cheap date. So, I mean, one half a drink and you're like, okay, we're done.
It's like, okay, great.
But my real advice is to not partake.
We go home now.
Oh my gosh.
That's a total inside joke, but it's the best.
So not sorry. So not sorry.
At least now I've been subjected to the movie that you're referencing.
You have to watch McClintock.
You've got
It's a John Wayne movie. It's so good.
It's fun. It's fun. And it takes place in Colorado.
That region of Colorado,
That's
actually.
Right. That's right. Anyway, we got off topic.
So Pikes Peak.
I got you up and down Pikes Peak. Okay, you made your 14er. Yay, you! Yay! Hooray! And now, because of course, it's the way.
Well, and then we mentioned, I don't know if you'll mention it again, but NORAD. And
I was thinking about Cheyenne Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe about Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Maybe.
Yep.
Alyce and I were having kind of that discussion about that. It's like, well, we can take or leave Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. It's a nice zoo.
It is a great zoo. And as far as animal care and what they're about, they are the holder of the SSP for giraffe.
Yep.
They are the leading zoo of giraffe care in this country. They're phenomenal. Their exhibit's amazing. It's just stuck on the side of a mountain and you have to hike in order to get to the exhibit.
There's a lot of up.
Ooh.
There's a lot of up.
A lot of
great. Oh, I have to say this. They have a great bear exhibit.
They do.
They have a great bear exhibit, and I got to do some behind the scenes there, and it was awesome.
Now, see, there you go.
So good bear stuff.
Yeah.
They have a great African elephant exhibit. So there's some new renovations and things going on. It is an older zoo. It is one of those zoos that is transitioning to more of a modern type of exhibit areas. In Colorado, we have 5 AZA accredited institutions in our state.
Right.
So and
they're all worth a visit.
That's one of the 5. Pueblo Zoo is also really close to down there, so you can hit Pueblo Zoo as well.
Yeah, it's about another hour south.
Mm-hmm. If you're an animal person.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. I'm not certain. I think I'd take them on over the hill and I'd head them down to Cripple Creek. Not for the gambling. Not for the gambling.
Town.
You're going to take a gold pan with you?
Yes, I am.
There you go.
Yes, I am. We're going to go find mountain garnets and we're going to find mountain gold. And I can guarantee you, I will help you find them, and you will find them.
You won't get rich.
No.
Settle down.
We're talking maybe $5 of gold.
If that.
if we're lucky.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Yeah.
Who knows? We might find a picker.
You
never know.
It's not cleaned out. It's not.
Oh no,
depleted.
It's not at all. You're more likely going to be finding garnets. And I jokingly call them Rocky Mountain rubies, even though we actually have rubies in Colorado.
Well,
yeah,
but they're more prevalent.
Yeah. I mean, and where there's garnets, there's gold, because they're almost the same density. Almost. Anyway, I would take them to Cripple Creek, and not only would I take them to Cripple Creek just for gold panning, because everybody's out there doing recreational gold panning. No. We're going to the Brass Ass. Okay. We're going to that goofy saloon with the horrible animatronics. Talk about kitsch.
If we're going to be doing the kitschy stuff, we'll hit the North Pole and we'll hit that.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely take them North Pole, but on the way, North Pole's on the way, but then we'd end up in Cripple Creek, and we would go to the Brass Ass, and we would have a hamburger at the Brass Ass, and we would go and visit all the stupid animatronics that's all over
all in the town. There's all over the place. Town.
You got mannequins that are going to talk to you. Okay.
They might not move their mouths when they talk to you, but they will.
If anybody's seen a Goofy movie, the Possum review, whatever's Possum Posse or whatever, with the animatronics that are all breaking down and sparking and everything, and it was supposed to be a sort of a poking joke at Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah.
Well, seeing Cripple Creek,
it's real.
It's a little more real than we really want to.
Is that all still there?
I don't know.
With all the casinos coming in?
I think, honestly, with all the casinos, probably all that's gone now, but I know that the Brass Ass is still there.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting rid of a bar named the Brass Ass.
No, you really aren't.
They had really good burgers, though.
They had great burgers.
And good green chili.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Well,
and the milkshakes, and again, we're back to this. Here I go again. The rock candy. The fudge. The popcorn, the saltwater taffy.
Everything you're supposed to get in a mountain town.
That's right.
You're going to get.
And maybe we should save this. You can. You can repeat it in the Idaho Springs video. But after we went, I read that Idaho Springs is the #1 taffy, like in the nation, I want to say.
You're kidding.
No, it's a secret recipe that's been passed down and yada yada. And we didn't look for that shop. I know.
We didn't get any.
And so now
I was going to say, it wasn't the shop we went to.
No.
It wasn't the shop we went to. We went and got ice cream and fudge.
And we were sad because it wasn't what we thought it was going to be.
Well, I was disappointed in the ice cream.
My peanut butter cup was rather amazing.
You loved it?
I loved it.
Right on. Okay, good. Okay, we got a good review then.
Yay!
Got a good review.
It was very lovely.
So there we are. I honestly think I might be done. We may on the way back do the nighttime laser show on the canyon wall in Manitou over by Cave of the Winds.
Yeah.
On the nighttime on the way rolling back.
And if we're still with our fantasy of no money's no object,
right?
We can stay in the Broadmoor.
Could stay.
Yes, we can. Okay, Broadmoor. The
Broadmoor Hotel is really stunning.
It is.
And beautiful.
Now, I talked about mountain resorts, and I talked about some of the first mountain resorts. The Broadmoor was I believe, and I will check this because I've been wrong before, and I had to make a video about it. Hence the video about Idaho Springs. I am going to say this, and I'm probably going to get corrected. Broadmoor was one of the first, or if not the first, resort hotel in Colorado.
And then there's also Glen Eyrie Castle down there.
Yes.
That's really, really cool.
Yes.
And it's a legit castle.
Yes.
But it's now an event center, but it's really, really beautiful.
Where's Bishop's Castle?
Oh, it's around up in there somewhere. I think it's over closer to Monument.
Okay.
Farther up north, maybe.
Yeah.
Rye. It's in Rye, Colorado.
Rye. Okay.
Ooh. Just Google the picture.
Yeah, it's
it's
one man's dream, if you will.
Psychosis.
And it is it's an interesting place to go.
Okay.
It's a place that you can go.
It's a place you can visit.
Indeed.
Bishop's Castle, yeah, this guy, the guy who started building it was a nut. Straight up crazy dude. Okay. His family has now taken over pretty much everything there. There's still a roadside attraction. It's honestly, it's worth a visit, but please don't go up in any of the towers. There are no guardrails. Well, there are guardrails after a fashion, but this entire thing was built with no OSHA regulations at all.
No.
It's
it is
scary
not
out.
at code at all.
It's yeah. And the last time we went was for a friend's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked that portion of it because, I mean, their great hall there
it
was nice.
It was nice.
But it was also kind of fun to actually come down the stairs and come around and almost walk straight into a group of kids doing a Harry Potter cosplay
I
video.
can see that. Yeah, for sure.
And
it's very Hogwarts Castle-esque.
Oh, yeah. And I come around the corner and almost walk into an entire, 15 Gryffindors, you know. So I thought that was kind of cute and fun, you know.
The other thing that's down there, down in Colorado Springs on the way up to Manitou, I think, is a wolf rescue place.
Yes.
Where you can go see wolves.
Yes.
I haven't been there, but I want to go there.
I have not been there either. So I don't have any opinions to speak on.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was looking to you because I'm like, if it's an animal thing, maybe you know about it.
I do know about it, but I haven't been there.
Yeah.
So I have we wrapped up already?
I think so. I mean, one of the things to remember is that down there, you have to travel more distance to get to things than you do up in the regions that we live in, like the Denver areas.
Right.
So that's why it feels like we're doing less because you have that much more travel time to get to those things.
And it's all, there's no, for here, there's I-70 that takes you up into the mountains, and there's no major interstates there. So it's all state roads, all 2 to 4 lane roads. And so it takes a while to get around to these places, but it's also worthwhile because it's not a big interstate, and
the scenery is just,
and the scenery is gorgeous.
Well,
it's beautiful.
And I've got several friends down in Colorado Springs, and some of them are actually subscribers to this channel, and I know that I'm going to get comments because I'm certain,
because you live down there.
I was going to say, I am certain that I have missed have missed a whole lot.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
And at this point, I'm going to tell all of my friends, you guys, in the comments, write down recommendations for people to go visit.
Yes, definitely.
Please. Because honestly, I've been a native, but I didn't spend that much time down there in Colorado Springs. It was only when family came to visit that we went down.
Yeah.
And that was about it. So, I mean, and just to let you guys know where we're at with this, we've taken care of the Front Range portion up to the divide on the northern bit of Colorado, and now a little bit on the central bit of Colorado.
Central South.
Yep.
We haven't even touched the southern border yet. We haven't even done Trinidad yet. We haven't done Pagosa Springs yet. Durango.
Four
Independence
Corners.
Pass.
Yeah. I mean, and then going up that side on the western slope up to Fruta, Palisade, Grand Junction, and Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Well, and Mesa Verde in the south.
Yeah.
So
and
the Anasazis.
Yeah, I mean the cliff dwellings over there.
Dwellings of the Anasazi, yeah, that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. See, you were way little when we did it.
I did it again when I was working for CU.
Oh well, then there we are.
Yeah,
there we are.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my first experience with anything really truly Aboriginal in this country. Was the cliff dwellings?
They're really neat.
And I want to go back. So I really want to go back.
We haven't even hit that section of the world, but that takes us a long drive.
It is a long drive.
Us going there frequently was not something we would do because the drive is so long.
Yeah,
exactly. I didn't even mention the sand dunes are down in this area too.
Right.
Well, I mentioned it last.
Yeah, but I mean, this would be the time to talk about the Great Sand Dunes National Park,
in Alamosa,
or National Monument.
Yeah,
National Monument.
It's very cool.
And the collegiate peaks are down there, and
now
Salida.
Talk about gemstones.
Oh yeah.
Collegiate Peaks.
Are we previewing our next episode?
I think we're previewing.
We're previewing. Yeah. Definitely. We'll do some research.
Since I'm the mineral geek, I will talk about the mineral part.
There you go. Done.
So,
and I'll do the hiking and camping. I've camped on a couple of those peaks.
There we go.
And done some river rafting down in there.
Smile and nod.
It's how about animals?
Okay.
Talking about the animals. Oh, there's one thing I did want to mention about, especially at the Cog Railway. There is a strong possibility that you may see a mountain lion on that during the summertime. The reason is because they're
awake.
They're awake. They're brave enough because they have no competition, no natural predators, and you can usually find them sunning themselves out on rocks.
And people aren't scary, so because there's so many of them.
Well, there's that, but it's also the fact that there is this little portion of caution that I want to bring forward to y'all. By the time you see the mountain lion, it has already seen you. And it knows exactly where you are. It knows exactly what your condition is. It knows how fast you're going to run. I mean, do you remember the movie Predator and everything and the readout that come up? Yeah, that's what they get. Okay.
And on me, it's going to be all red because everything's aching.
Everything hurts. And I was going to say, and they look at me, it's like, dude's missing a leg.
You're assuming they're going to attack. They're not.
No.
They're probably like,
no, we're too big. But
no. I mean, but it is one of those things that
you just don't want to mess.
Yeah.
You don't
and especially if you're out on walking a trail or something.
Don't mess. Don't run away either.
Don't say here, kitty, kitty. It's just not. No.
Pray, run away.
Yeah, don't run away.
So don't run away.
Yep.
Just make yourself big and loud.
Well, and as you have always said, let the wild be wild. Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely one of the things that I think I would like us to reinforce about visitors to Colorado.
Yeah.
The animals are real.
Yeah.
Okay. They're big and they will hurt you.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
Or they're little and they'll hurt you.
Yes.
I mean, a chipmunk bite hurts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm laughing because it's true.
It's true. And like people, no, I mean.
No, I've been nipped by, when we went to Estes Park, we did that pull out to feed the chipmunks. I've been nipped a couple of times.
I mean, then there's some things to remember too, is that you feeding them is not helping them.
Right.
No.
So here I go.
Go ahead. So
animals,
I brought it up.
Animals that live in our area and a lot of animals that are wild create something called brown fat. And brown fat is something that's necessary for colder months. And it burns energy at a higher temperature so that way they can stay warmer in those cool months. When you feed them human food, they don't make brown fat. They make white fat like our fat. And white fat doesn't produce any heat at all, contrary to what you may think. So you're giving them bread and whatever and your scraps of whatever. That's not helping them. And they've been so conditioned now by people giving them those things that yes, they'll steal your food because they know they can. And it really has compromised the longevity of animals during hibernation and during our cold months and during torpor, that they don't survive because they don't have the right fat. So they wake up earlier and then they start looking for food earlier and there's nothing to eat. So it's just, my animal person in me is just like, yes, they're cute and yes, they're amazing and they come close and it's such a cool experience. And I don't want to deny you that. I just want you to leave the wild and let them be and have your experience, take a photo, move on.
Yeah.
Don't feed them.
Agreed.
Yes. Testify.
So, I mean, it's kind of a soapbox thing, but it's also,
no, but it's necessary.
It's
necessary.
You think, and I appreciate where the altruistic, I'm helping it eat. It needs to find food. It'll find food.
The right kind of food.
And I appreciate that people want to help and care. The best way you can do that is pick up your trash and throw it in a trash can. The best thing you can do is to not throw your plastic around up there because that stuff causes problems. The best thing you can do is take a picture from a distance,
use your zoom.
Like there's things that you can do to actually help out that make a difference, not feeding them your Wonder Bread sandwich.
Yeah. And this is the old Rocky Mountain National Park thing of take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints.
Yeah.
And leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you find something,
pick it up.
Trash
please.
wise.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Some of that leaf and that ground cover is super important for our winters because it insulates
Yeah.
the ground temperature and helps with that whole hibernation thing and torpor for our animals. So it's important.
Right.
And if you're camping in bear country and they have the bear containers for your lockers for your stuff, use them.
Yes.
Don't put it in your car. Don't put it in your tent. Don't string it up in a tree. Bears can climb trees. Well, use the bear lockers.
Even if you're picnicking in those areas, you know, like there are signs for a reason, so please read them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's not that the bears are going to come attack you necessarily. No. Our black bears are...
They are driven to eat because they have to fatten up for winter, because they have to sleep through. Like all of that instinct and that reason that they're doing that is because they have to.
And they can smell the food, and so they're going to come after your food, and then you get in between them and the food, and then that's when things happen, right? So just use the bear lockers, use the bear trash cans. I love that the rangers always talk about that the challenge with the bear trash cans, it does take some effort to get them open. Because the Bears smartest bear and the dumbest humans, there's a Venn diagram here, and there's some overlap.
There's that overlap.
And so they are a little bit complicated because bears are smart.
They'll wrench your car door open.
They will.
Yes, they will.
They're also very strong.
They can get their claws in there, and they can wrench
your
car door open.
They can pop that door. They can pop
the window.
They'll pop the lock.
Yeah.
They will pop the lock.
Or just the window. They'll punch the window out. So.
Yep. And then all of a sudden they'll eat everything on the inside,
including your car seat.
Yeah. So
it doesn't have to be the food. It will be your car.
Yeah, exactly.
They will eat your car.
Yeah.
So just heed the warnings that are posted for a reason.
They're real, and they're there for a reason because those things have happened.
And they want to keep you safe, and they want to keep the animals safe.
That's,
so
well, and there it is. There it is, really. Yeah.
It's not. We're not saying don't go to those places. We're saying go there and be smart about it,
and just respect what
be
they've.
respectful.
Yeah. Remember that this is not your house.
Right.
Okay.
And we live in a tinderbox. And so if it says high fire danger, no open campfires,
we mean it.
We mean it. Yeah.
We mean it. And
you've seen all of the footage, the national footage of forest fires here, and even in town fires here 2 years ago. Yeah, we are. So, the advantage of no humidity is that we can all breathe and it's very pleasant. But the disadvantage is that we're just a tinderbox, and you just have to use caution if you're using any sort of open flame.
Well, that was a cool ending. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, so positive.
That was
so positive.
Well, we're wanting people to come visit.
We want to come, come visit, but just pay attention to what the signs and all of that say, and you'll have a great time. Absolutely.
Exactly. Remember, it's not your house. Treat it like you're visiting, because you are.
Yep.
And come and have a good time.
Please.
And
beautiful place.
I guess the reason for all these rules is remember that it's not just your vacation, it's everybody else's vacation too.
True.
So, take it with that attitude.
Everybody gets a chance to see. You just gotta be respectful.
Exactly.
And you want everyone to have that amazing experience of coming around the corner and seeing that beautiful meadow with the mountains in the background without a Wonder Bread bag in the ground.
Should I put that chunk right here?
Not?
Oh, yeah.
It's the best.
Just as as a stinger?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will. And it's right here.
Ta-da!
All right, folks. Thank you much for joining us again. I'm hoping that we're getting you guys some good information. I'm hoping that you're enjoying every time that we are all together. And, well, hit that like, hit that subscribe, keep it coming, because I need all the help I can get, because if you don't help me grow, all this doesn't happen anymore.
Well,
So
we want to share what we love.
Yes.
And that's why we're sharing.
exactly. So again, thank you, folks.
Go travel.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.